I've bought fabric this week and I don't care. But I also rescued the pesky pearl pants, and I'll be showing you what I did to tackle that hungry bum problem. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my little sewing space. I've had another fab week, but before we get into what I've done this week, I need to do a few, I was going to say little thank yous, but they're not, they're big thank yous, because I was blown away by all the lovely comments, kind words, just heartfelt messages that you sent to me about Lily. She is doing really well, still trotting round the same old girl she always has been, so we're still enjoying our time with her at the moment. But as well as the lovely thoughts and comments that you sent me, a few very, very kind ladies also sent some money to my Ko-fi account. Now, I don't publicise my Ko-fi account because my channel's about sharing, it's not about money making, if you like. But these ladies obviously felt the need to show their thanks for the work that I do, and I just want to say thank you and a huge sewing hug for your kind donations. So I'm just going to give first names because I'm not sure whether they want me to publicise it, but you will know from your name who you are. So there's Karen, there's Jane, there's Kazzy, there's Helen, and there's Denise. And you all contributed recently to my Ko-fi account, and I am super, super thankful to you. I haven't done anything with the money. I'm going to save it up and use it to spend on my fabric shopping jaunt when I go to Barcelona. So rest assured, the money will not be squandered. I really, really want to get a special piece of fabric from my Ko-fi money when I'm in Barcelona. So what did I get up to last week? Well, I didn't have an awful lot of sewing time, to be honest, because on Friday I was going on my very, very first proper organised sewing retreat. So I had a lot of prep to do for that, when you don't know what to take with you, what to wear, etc, etc. So I spent quite a bit of time planning my little getaway, but I did get some sewing done. So I managed to make a start on the Thea jacket that I'm doing as an overshirt. That's part finished. I also wrangled those pearl pants and beat them into shape. They had a serious crotch issue with them. Thank you to everybody for all your kind suggestions on how I could sort it out. The pants are very wearable, and indeed they went on the sewing retreat with me as well, so perfect. And I've also been trucking along with my embroidery blocks for my kaleidoscope quilt, and that's what I did on my sewing retreat. So let's have a look where we're up to with the Thea overshirt that I want to make, or I'm making. Fingers crossed it will work out. So the Thea is a jacket from Barra Studios, and this is one that I've made a couple of years ago now. You can see it's like an overshirt, but it's in... You can hear the dogs barking. Excuse me, I'm going to carry on and ignore them. It's an over jacket. Does what it says on the tin. It's not a jacket and it's not a shirt, but it is a good fit. So rather than start being naughty and buying even more patterns, I decided to use this pattern as the overshirt for my outfit for Barcelona. So this was the fabric that I was doing it in. I got this fabric from Mr. Tissue. So it's all been put together. I ran out of fabric, so I had to use some of the leopard print silk fabric for the inside yoke, because what I forgot was, when I was cutting it out, did really well, managed to get the saguaro pants and this out of the 3 metre length of fabric. But I made a little error, because as a shacket, the yoke is a single layer, otherwise it'd be too big and thick and bulky. But obviously as a blouse, I wanted the inside yoke as well, so I've had to use some different fabric on the inside. But that, in hindsight, is going to work quite well, because I'm also going to make a little archipel top to go underneath this in that fabric. So it worked out for the best in the end. I've still got the collar to put on. I've still got the cuffs to put on. And I've got the plackets to finish off. Oh yes. And turn it up and put buttonholes in. So still quite a bit of work to do on this in hindsight. So this is going to be my make for this week, to get this shirt finished and all ready to go. If I finish that, then I'm going to make a start on the archipel top to go underneath it. As I've already said, that's going to be made in that fabric with the little cheeky frill on the bottom of it. And then that outfit is all finished and complete and ready to go to Barcelona. And then I think I've possibly only got one garment that I've not done, and it's the dress. So I've still got to decide what pattern I'm doing the dress in, but then I've done really well and I've got all 6 garments made up for my Barcelona trip, I think. I'll have to check at the vlog myself actually, because I've got a funny feeling I've missed something, but I don't know what it is. So if you know what I've not done, let me know. But it's getting there. So let's talk about the trouser dilemma. If you watched last week's vlog, you'll know I made a pair of the pearl pants, got all cocksure of myself, and didn't try them on because I'd made them before as Bermuda shorts and I knew I got the fit right. Stupid girl. When I tried them on, they had ever so slightly a hungry bum. It was embarrassing, to say the least. And I had no more of the fabric left. It was beautiful fabric, again from Mr. Tissue, and I was gutted. So you all gave me some amazing ideas. Thank you so much for them all. I went with putting a waistband on them in the end because I didn't have spare fabric and it just seemed like the easiest thing for me, and it has worked. So I'll put an image of me doing a little twirl in them with the waistband on now, and put the one there of how they work, so you're going to see a before and after, which isn't a bad thing. So I undid the facings because these are quite fitted at the waist and they have darts in the back, 2 darts in the back on either side, so I needed a shaped waistband because waistbands aren't a straight line, they usually have a bit of a curve to them, and I didn't want to spoil the look of the trousers by just being clever and just doing an oblong. So I used the facing that was already in the trousers for the outside waistband, and then I got some of the fabric left from the patina blouse that I made, and I used that for the facing for the waistband on the inside. So it was just done the actual depth of the facing piece that I had. I moved the tabs all up. The only thing I didn't do was undo the invisible zip. So the invisible zip at the back is as it was. So because of the waistband, that's where the zip finishes. But I put a cute rose gold press stud on. And although that's the back and probably looks like the front of the trousers now, I'm all right with that. There is a little hole there, a little peephole. But I don't tend to wear blouses that are tucked in, and if I do, I tend to just tuck the front in and leave the back out. So nobody will know. And I know the pearl pants are meant to be without a waistband, and ideally that's how they would have been because they are a lot more comfortable. But actually I wore these on the retreat and they are still not bad. Not as good as if they'd not had the waistband, I've got to be honest, but at least they fit me and they are very, very wearable. So I've done a pearl trouser hack if I want to be clever about it. So if you've got the pearl pants and you want to put a waistband on, there you go, that's how you do it. But they are now going to go on rotation in my autumn winter wardrobe. Perfect. So let's move on to what I made on my embroidery retreat. I decided they do give you some patterns and projects in with the price of the retreat that you can do. But I decided, because it was my first one, I was a little bit nervous and I didn't want to have to read instructions. I wanted to just enjoy the time that I had there. And if I'd have been doing the patterns that the ladies gave me, I wouldn't have interacted with everybody else as much, I don't think, because I was doing something that I was comfortable making. I could stop and start when I wanted, have a chat to people, and it was just good to do it that way for me. So I continued on with my kaleidoscope quilt journey, and I did get quite a few blocks done. Not as many as I could have done if I hadn't have been chatting away, but I finished off. I had 2 of this one done already. So I finished off 2 of these, and that finishes block 6. So I'm catching up. So I had blocks 1 to 6 finished. So then I decided I had block 7 and block 8 with me to do, which is 8. So because it's 4 for each. So it was 8 sections to do. And I was really hoping to get all 8 done, but that was me just being ambitious as usual. So I decided I'd do 1 of each, and then I could see what they were like and then carry on from there. So that's the start of block 7 with birds on it. So I did the first section of block 7, and then I did the first section of block 8, which has got cute little ladybirds on it. So that's 4 blocks done. And then I did another one of block 8 and started halfway through another block. So what's that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5 blocks. So that's what I got done on my sewing retreat, embroidery wise. If you want to find out how I got on, I'm doing a separate vlog on Thursday that is all about sewing retreats. So not just the one that I've been on. I've gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole on sewing retreats, and I thought I'd share all my information with you. So that's what's going to happen on Thursday. The eagle-eyed among you may have noticed that there's a little pile of fabric behind me here. Yes, I bought more fabric. Now, these are all sweater knits and sweatshirting style fabrics. I had very little of it in my stash and I wanted to stock up on it, ready to start doing some snuggly sewing projects. I ordered fabrics in the sale partly from 2 stores online, LAMAZI and Beyond the Pink Door, 2 of my favourite shops, reliable quality of fabric. So when they had sales on, and I found that they also had a little bit of sweater knit in, I did some oops fabric shopping. But, you know, it's got to be done, girls. So we'll go through the fabrics that I got from LAMAZI. And the first one that I got was a remnant. I think there's about 0.8 of a metre of this one, but look at that. Oh, very, very nice indeed. Now, this is a Nerida Hansen daisy chain sweatshirting fabric. It's not a heavyweight sweatshirting, it's quite a lightweight sweatshirting, so perfect for early autumn weather. So it's 95% cotton and 5% elastane, which is really good quality. It weighs 225 grams per square metre. It's 148 inches wide, and they have still got this on LAMAZI, but in the pink version I've got the green, and it's £17 a metre, which is about the sort of price range that you're looking at for quality sweatshirting at the moment. So there's 0.8 of a metre. I want to make either a cardigan or a jumper, but there's not going to be enough here, so I'm going to have to pick up on one of the colours. Now there's black obviously for the daisies, but there's pink, a really bright orange and a bright green, so the orange is probably the colour I'm going to go for, and find some sweatshirting to go with it, and then I can make a 2-tone winter top. Fabric number 2, I'm not sure how well this is going to come out. I'm looking at it at the moment, it just looks like black fabric. But it is a Retro Star yarn dyed jacquard weave knit fabric. And it's got a decent stretch to it. It's not got much stretch on the vertical. So it's a structured knit. Great for cardigans, great for dresses. Not sure what I'm going to make with it yet. It's 64% viscose, 34% polyester. I know, but the viscose outweighs the polyester, so I'm living with it. And 2% spandex. It's 270 grams in weight per square metre, 145 inches wide. And it's a really good value of £12.50 a metre, again from LAMAZI. Fabric number 3 from LAMAZI is another piece of their lyocell sand washed twill fabric. It's the same fabric that I made the Atlas pants in the blue the other week, and I want to make another pair of them in this olive green colour because oh, I love those trousers and I love this fabric as well. So if you're looking for a decent weight trouser pattern that's got some floatiness to it, isn't structured, then have a look at LAMAZI's lyocell sand washed twill fabrics. They've got quite a few colours in them and it's beautiful quality. Absolutely love this fabric. So what's it made out of? It is 100% tencel. So it's a tencel twill fabric. If you ever see tencel twill anywhere, buy it. for trousers, because it is perfect. In my opinion, of course, it's 150 grams in weight per square metre and 145 inches wide, and it's £15 per metre. And as I said, they've got quite a few colours in this fabric. The last one that I got from LAMAZI is this super snuggly sweater knit fabric. Oh, it is beautiful to touch. And they are calling it Snug Viscose Blend Sweater Knit. Perfect description. It is exactly that. So what is it made of? It is 45% viscose, 36% polyamide, 19% polyester. And yeah, that is a mix, isn't it? But I was a little bit worried with the polyester content in it, but it actually feels absolutely gorgeous. And I can't wait to make something in this for the winter. This is the toffee colour, and I think they've got 3 or 4 other colours in this as well. So go and give it a look. It is £14 per metre, but feels absolutely gorgeous for the winter weather. So that was LAMAZI. Then I went to Beyond the Pink Door, the lovely Andrea. She's got a big sale on at the moment, so go and have a look over there. She's got some real bargains on there, let me tell you. But I was looking specifically for autumn and winter fabrics. So all the lightweight summer viscoses I steered away from, because I've done it before and bought them in the sale. I thought, yes, I'll put those away for next year, and next year comes and I don't love them as much anymore. So that's just money wasted, isn't it? So I resisted and just bought autumn and winter. Now this one is very similar to the sweater knit from LAMAZI, and it's actually in a different colour, and it's called Creme Brulee. And they're calling it Cashmere Touch Sweater Knit. But oh, again, super soft. Loving it. So, I bought this as a remnant piece. I think I got about 1.8 metres of it. But they are selling other colours in this range for £10 a metre at the moment in the sale. So go and have a nosy. It is absolutely beautiful, and that's a bargain price for the sweater knit at this time of year. So this is a very similar content to the one that I've just shown you that I got from LAMAZI Fabrics at £14 a metre, but this was £10 a metre. And it's 45% viscose, 22% polyamide, 28% nylon, and 5% elastane. So a different mix, but feels just as nice. And this one's 300 grams per square metre, which is exactly the same as the one from LAMAZI. And as I've already said, it's £10 a square metre. What's not to like? Oh, and it's 150 wide as well. Now this one is coming out like it's white fabric. It's more of a cream colour, and I wanted a lighter colour cardigan that will go with everything to take to Barcelona. So I picked this, they're calling it Winter White. It's soft faux angora knit. So let's see what the content is. This doesn't feel as soft and snuggly. It feels a bit harsher. And you can see why when I tell you what the fabric content is. So this one is 80% polyester. I know I don't do high content polyester, but it's going to be a cardigan. It's not going to be right next to my skin. So I risked it for a biscuit. And it feels okay. So it's 80% polyester, 15% viscose and 5% spandex. And it's slightly lighter weight at 220 grams. So it's a lot thinner than the other two. So definitely perfect layering garment fabric. and it's 145 centimetres wide, and they're selling this one for £12 a metre. So you're getting it a bit cheaper because of the polyester content, and it's a little bit lighter weight. So it depends what you want, doesn't it? Do you pay more money and get the snuggle effect and the snuggle feel? I think if it's going to be next to your skin, get the other one. If you're going to be using it for cardigans, then this one might be a little bit more hard wearing when you keep taking them on and off. Not sure at all what I'm going to make with this one, if I'm honest. You know when you order online and something comes and you go, oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be? This is one of those. It's beautiful fabric, and it was a bargain price because I only paid £7.50 a metre for it. So, you know, and it's really, really good quality. It's super drapey, a little bit see-throughy. I mean, that is 2 layers. So what I might do, actually, now I'm thinking about it, if I wanted to make a top, I could just do a double layer, couldn't I? Because I only paid £7.50 for it. That might work, but let's see what it is. It's a viscose blend slub knit fabric in the coffee colour. It's 54% viscose, 45% polyester, and it only weighs 158 grams a square metre, and it's 167 wide, so it's quite a lot of fabric, and they've still got this in stock in the sale at Beyond the Pink Door, and it's £7.50 a metre. But be aware, it is like semi-opaque, so it could be a long line layering cardigan or a waterfall cardigan. It would look good as, but I need to have a think about what I'm going to do with that one. But very nice fabric. Last but most definitely not least, I succumbed, and I've noticed that quite a few fabric shops have started doing like sweater kits, or not a full kit, but the fabric and matching cuffing cut to inset lengths. And I thought, oh, this is a good idea. LAMAZI have got quite a few of them as well, but I picked one that Andrea had done, and I snaffled it because it was the last one of them. So I'm really sorry, there's no link below for this kit. I've got it. This is the fabric. It's a sweatshirting fabric, and it's a poppy design. It's in the pickle colour background with like watercolour. It's like paint splashes all over it in beautiful complementing and contrasting colours. So I got 2 metres of that poppy sweatshirting fabric, and it came with this cuffing which works really well with it. And I think I got, did I get a metre of the cuffing? Yeah, there's a metre of the cuffing. It is tubular cuffing, so that's double. You undo it and it's, you know, twice that width. Got a really good stretch on it and goes really well with that sweatshirting fabric. So again, not got a clue what I'm making in it. Now I paid £39 for this, but I got a metre of cuffing or ribbing and 2 metres of this beautiful poppy sweatshirting. So it's probably going to be a dress of some kind, because I can definitely get a dress out of 2 metres of sweatshirting. So that's me all fessed up on the fabric front. The last thing that we need to chat about today is the sewing bee. Now, I love every episode of the sewing bee. Really enjoyed last week's, and I was gutted that Gaynor was going. I knew she was probably getting to, you know, the point where she was starting to struggle, Not with the quality of her sewing. She was, in my opinion, the best sewer on this series. And if it was about your sewing skills, she would have won. Hands down, no doubt. Everything she did was perfect. So who picked Gaynor? Well, one of you picked Gaynor. So Judy Proudfoot, sorry sweetheart, you're out of the sweep. But that still means there's a whopping 21 of you still in. Well done. So I just thought that I would pay homage to Gaynor because she is a little superstar. She's created some beautiful garments in the bee. And I'm going to love you and leave you now with a few pics of Gaynor's garments from the Sewing Bee. So I will see you all again on Thursday, hopefully, when we're going to jump down the rabbit hole that is sewing retreats. And then, if not, I will see you next Monday for more sewing chat and shenanigans. So have a wonderful sewing week, and I will see you all again soon. Bye!